What's up, guys? So last time we talked about what is CrossFit. We went over the constantly varied, high intensity, and functional movement aspect of it. And today we are going to talk about the hierarchy, the pyramid, the hierarchy of fitness that Greg Glassman came up with. So first of all, it looks like this. So this is what it looks like. Down on the bottom here, we've got nutrition. Nutrition is the foundation of your pyramid. In short, if you are not eating well, none of the rest of this is going to matter. Okay? You have to have a good foundation and a good base of nutrition. So the way Glassman breaks that down is eat meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar. Okay? I won't get too much into nutrition. That is pretty much its own topic that we'll go over another time. But yeah, just know that if you are not eating well, no matter what you do up here, your performance will suffer because you do not have a good foundation. So, number 2 in the pyramid is Metcon, or metabolic conditioning. So, these are your WODs, your things like running, basically conditioning, right? How well conditioned you are is the foundation that everything else that comes will build off of. So if you suck at running, you probably should do more running so that you will get better, because it will help everything else. Rowing, biking, like those sorts of things. If you run out of breath really quickly, stuff like that. 1, your nutrition might be off, but 2, you might just not have great conditioning, metabolic conditioning, and those both need to improve. So that is the second one, and that's why the majority of the workouts that we do are Metcons. They are metabolic conditioning based, because that is the secondary foundation. That's what most people need as a base principle of fitness. Yes, there are other things that fun to do, high-level gymnastics, weightlifting, those sorts of things, but as you'll see, those come later on. So Metcon, that is the most important. That's why most of our workouts are Metcon based. So number 3 is gymnastics. What that means is body weight movements. So we're talking from air squats to pull-ups, muscle-ups, handstand push-ups, any of that stuff. Before you can move weight of an external load, you should be able to control your own body. This includes things like planks, regular handstands, handstand walks, a variety of things. So again, nutrition's the foundation. If you're not eating well, you're going to have a hard time performing on Metcons. If you're having a hard time performing on Metcons, you're probably not going to be very good at gymnastics. It keeps going up. So everything builds off of the last one. So gymnastics, body weight movements, box jumps, jumping rope, any of those other sort of things that are just body weight movements, that's what fits there. So the next level up is weightlifting. This includes barbell movements, deadlift, back squat, front squat, overhead squat, push press, jerk, clean, snatch, all those. But it also includes things that are not barbell based, wall balls, dumbbell snatches, sled pushes even. Like anything where you're moving an external load is weightlifting. So, to his theory, Glassman's theory, again, nutrition's the foundation. Can't emphasize that enough. Metcon is the next most important. Get your conditioning down. You should be able to breathe. You should be able to run, right? You should be able to have some sort of ability to maintain your conditioning while under fatigue, right? Or some sort of ability to maintain your composure when under fatigue would be a good way to put it. Gymnastics, so your ability to control your own body would be next. And then weightlifting, your ability to control things outside of your body. So if you're looking at this list and you notice like, all right, my nutrition's not great, that's what you should focus on. If you look at that, Metcon's not great, that's what you should focus on. If you're looking at this and your gymnastics aren't great, that's what you should focus on, right? weightlifting is one of the last things that you should be focusing on. As you get better at these three, your strength will start to improve. And your ability to have proper positions and stuff like that will also improve as well. So last but not least is sport. So in the world of CrossFit, that would be like the CrossFit Games. But you know, in his model originally, when Glassman founded CrossFit, the CrossFit Games weren't a thing. So this literally meant, you know, football, basketball, soccer, t-ball, baseball, you know, dodgeball, kickball, whatever. The highest level is the actual sport of something. So the sport of gymnastics, right, like Olympics, that would be there. The sport of weightlifting, like in the Olympics, that would be up there. Because this is like a specialization, right, when you're just honed in on one skill set in order to excel at that. So, so this is the pyramid, the hierarchy of physical fitness that Glassman put together. Last time I'll say this, nutrition, well, it won't be the last time I'll say this, but for this video, nutrition's the foundation. If you are not paying attention to what you're eating, you are hurting everything else. Metcon, if your conditioning is not good, you should improve it. So before, like, let's say you're in a workout, right? How can you apply this, right? Let's talk about that. From a scaling standpoint, a workout's up and there is a weight on the workout. It's a weightlifting sort of thing. And it's pretty heavy, right? What would be better for you to do, rather than trying to go for the heavy weight on the Metcon, is actually to focus on your metabolic conditioning and get that in, you know, get that going. Like you should have a really good time with light to moderate loads before you start adding weight, right? So the same goes with gymnastics, right? If there's a tough gymnastics conditioning piece, so let's say handstand push-ups, and you still struggle with a regular push-up, you shouldn't necessarily be trying to, you know, be inverted and doing a push-up. Like you should be working on that foundational piece of a push-up and do that. You know, weightlifting, if it's, you know, a snatch or something like that, don't feel like you have to try and go for a heavy load. The best thing you can actually do, especially if you still get super fatigued in workouts, even with light weights, is focus on your metabolic conditioning and get that. So yeah, workouts, if you're trying to scale, if you're trying to figure out, you know, what to do, this is kind of a interesting framework to look off of, because it'll kind of give you some guidance on how to modify based on what your weaknesses are. So that's that. And if you have questions, ask me, ask a coach. And if you have any suggestions or questions on future videos you'd want me to do, let me know. Bye.